Good morning. All right. Good morning. Right on. My name is Kate Breslin. I'm the president and CEO at the Schuyler Center for Analysis and Advocacy, based here in Albany. Please excuse my voice. This kind of just popped up this morning. And I'm thrilled to have you all here. And SCAA is thrilled to be co-sponsoring this event with the Center for an Urban Future. The Schuyler Center is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that does policy analysis and advocacy on issues that affect low-income and vulnerable New Yorkers. So we work to shape policies that affect vulnerable New Yorkers. And we have a beautiful vision of a New York that has policies that help create opportunity for people throughout the lifespan. And we work in the kind of broad policy areas of education, health, human services, and income security. And for many years, we've been working on issues relating to kind of early childhood, and we've also been involved in the sort of GED as well as disconnected youth. And we are just thrilled to be able to be here today. You know, part of what makes this work exciting and fun is doing it with people who you respect and you trust. And we are just delighted to be here with our partners at the Center for an Urban Future. And I'd like to introduce Jonathan Bowles.
Thank you so much, Kate. We've had a chance to work with the Schuyler Center so many times over the years on several really critical issues facing New York State, and it's a real pleasure to be here and partnering again this week. I also want to acknowledge the museum and the space here at the Huxley Auditorium for allowing us to be here, and also a big thank you to the Working Poor Families Project for really funding and making this event possible in the first place. Deborah Povich from the Working Poor Families Project, which is a national initiative, is here today, and she's going to be making some closing remarks later. I run the Center for an Urban Future, which is a policy institute based in New York City that's really focused on how do you grow and diversify New York's economy and how do you expand economic opportunity. And for years, we've been taking a look at the issues of the skills gap. I know this was a historic night last night in New York. The state is addressing gun violence, and I'm really glad. I know not everyone's in agreement on this, but I for one, am glad that the state is making some moves in that area. But I think it's important. I think we're all here today because we know that there is still a long way to go on a lot of issues related to the skills gap and making sure more New Yorkers are prepared to succeed and have a successful adult life in the workplace. And at the heart of those questions are really kind of changes around the GED that are in store for 2014. And I know that we've had a really amazing turnout here today, in part because these issues are really on the tip of a lot of people's tongues. We've got some good news and some bad news today. The bad news is that we're very sorry that Chancellor Tisch is actually unable to speak this morning. We're very sorry, but she's actually under the weather and is not going to be able to give a keynote speech today. The very good news is that we are thrilled to have New York State Education Commissioner John King. He's going to step in and give a keynote speech in place of the Chancellor. Also, I just want to say, we know how much work and what a leader Chancellor Tisch has been on education reform and on key educational issues in the state. And I just want to personally wish her a speedy recovery. We're going to have some remarks by Commissioner King. And for those who don't know the commissioner, he has been an incredible leader and visionary on education reform as well. Commissioner King oversees more than 7,000 public and independent elementary and secondary schools and hundreds of other educational institutions across New York State. Dr. King is a strong voice for education reform, and he was a driving force of New York State's successful Race to the Top application. He's a former high school and middle school principal, a high school teacher and middle school principal, and he has earned a national reputation as a visionary on education reform. Everyone, Commissioner John King.